Good morning. This is a Flat Cap Cafe Racer. Today I'm going to bring you a little bit of information on one of my bikes, the BMW R9T/5. Meerkat. YouTube tells me that 9 out of 10 of the viewers that watch my videos are new viewers or are not subscribers. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about this BMW R9T. I do have 3 other bikes. If you're new to the channel, I'll tell you about. This is one of them, the Royal Enfield 500. This is the Thruxton R without the tin work, which is being painted right now. And the third bike is the Tiger 2020 Tiger GT Pro. I bought this bike just a little over 2 years ago, and I've got about 7,400 miles on it right now. I spread the mileage out on the different bikes, so that's why they never get a whole lot of mileage on them. In addition, that's why you got the /5 on here. It's kind of the 50th anniversary of the /5. That's why you got this gaudy badge on here, but I've left it there. Out the door price on this particular motorcycle was $14,000, just a little bit over $14,000. That includes sales tax and everything like that. I don't know if you can tell about this paint job, and that's what really attracted me to this bike more than anything. It's called Lupine Blue. It's got some black, dark blue highlights here, and it fades to lighter blue. Kind of reminiscent of some of the smoke colors that they used to do on some of the R90S's. But not to that extreme. The motor is actually pretty tame compared to most everything these days that come out. It's 110 horsepower or 81 kilowatts new money, and it's 86 foot-pounds of torque or 116 newton meters in the new money. This little yellow block here is just to hold one of my things from my GoPro. As you can see, I've had dual clocks on this bike. It did not come with the tachometer. That was an option. I'll go with that when I do the options. But this bike is actually pretty quick. I've run in a quarter mile, run 11.7 seconds in a quarter mile, which is pretty quick. I think that's around 118 miles an hour. And that's with the traction control off. With the traction control on, you're going to run 2 or 3/10 slower. As a matter of fact, let me show you a video of this bike in action out at the drag strip. Handling wise, this bike is, I'd say, about a little bit better than average. It only has like 4.9 inches of travel up front on a non-adjustable shock. That's 125 millimeters. The rear shock is a little bit even less than that. That's 4.7 inches or about 120 millimeters. Now the suspension works pretty well if you're about 160 to 180 pound rider. If you get a little heavier than that, I think the rear shock is just a little too soft for that. 6-speed gearbox is pretty smooth. You will not get away with clutchless shifting up, especially at the drag strip. It doesn't like to go into gear with clutchless shifting if you're in a hurry. Now on the back here you can see that I've got the stock exhaust on, and it actually sounds pretty good. I'll play you a little clip of the stock exhaust. Tank is about 4.5 gallons, and it holds the last, I'd say about the last gallon is in reserve. So I generally get about 47 to 48 miles a gallon with this bike, no matter how hard I'm riding it. Taking it on some longer rides around Idaho, and also I'd spent a week out in Nevada with it, and I had some luggage. I'll show you what those look like. The weight on this bike is 483 pounds wet, and I'll put up the new money. Ergonomically wise, it's pretty comfortable. It's got a nice seat. It's good for about 200 miles before you want to, or you have to get off. The distance between the foot peg and seat height is fairly good. It could be a little bit better. I need about another inch to be really comfortable with this bike. I have some adjustable, I've raised the bars up a little bit with some bar risers. And the rider's triangle is actually pretty nice. As you can see, the tires are getting pretty worn out here. Like I said, I got about 7,500 miles on it. The rear tire squaring off, that's probably a me thing. But the front tire is kind of cupping a little bit on the front. And I've pretty much run the standard 36 PSI in the front, what the book calls for, and 39 in the rear. Really, the only maintenance items I have done here, I'll go over. I replaced the headlight, which was $349 when I got a rock through it. So I put a protective cover on it now for $27. I bought an air hawk to use on longer rides, which is $140. That tachometer that you saw up here, that was $670. The handlebar risers that I just showed you on the other side, they're $117. The tail bag, which I use because there's nowhere to carry things on this bike, is a Triumph item, as a matter of fact, and that's only $77. The Rizoma luggage rack was $250. I bought a throttle lock right here. You can see here, the throttle lock was $210. This little teensy windscreen here that does nothing but guard the instruments, $162. Now, service-wise I took it in for the 600-mile service, and that was $394. Then I did the 6,000-mile service, which included, surprisingly, the valves being checked, and that was $639. I haven't had anything go wrong with the bike except for having replaced the headlight, and that's because of a rock. I purchased the extended warranty, a 7-year extended warranty. I do that on all my bikes because I tend to keep them for a long time. And also, if I decide to sell them during that period of time, it gives the new owner, which all these warranties are transferable, gives the new owner some confidence that the bike's going to be okay. The other things I bought on this bike was this Fender Extender. And you want to get one of these because it throws up a lot of stuff right in here on the bike. Same thing on the rear. I need to get a new guard for the rear because it throws up a lot of mud up on the rear shock, a lot of gravel, and it takes a beating. So I've got like a little mesh screen over it right now. But what I want to get is something like I have on my Thruxton. My Tiger. You can see on this Tiger, it's a little hugger. It's kind of a combination chain guard and hugger. I got that from Pyramid Plastics, and I really like that. The bike really doesn't have a lot electronically going on with it. It has the ABS that you can turn off. It has a traction control you can turn off. It has heated hand grips, which is a good thing. Although I'd have put it on the other side. What it does need a cruise control. I think that's kind of mandatory. The adjustable levers are kind of nice on it. So everything really works well. And I'm very pleased. I haven't had any kind of, like I said, any kind of problems with the bike. And I think it's You know, I'm not a big Boxer fan, but I think as far as Boxers goes, this looks pretty nice. We'll take it outside and let you look at it. And give you a little taste of what it sounds like here. It actually sounds really good with the stock muffler. There's no need on this bike to change it to something else. It sounds pretty good. You can see where I was at in the yard getting stuck. It's not a snow bike. Like I said, the seat height on that's pretty good. It's 31.7 inches. It's 805 millimeters. So it's going to fit a lot of people. It's pretty skinny at the gas tank. The foot pegs really don't get in the way. Now I'm going to spend probably about 20 minutes trying to get this bike back in the shop now. I hope you enjoyed just a little bit about the BMW R9T. I'll probably do some more stuff with the Tiger 900. I've got the paint coming up on the Thruxton R. And finally, I think I'm going to get the roll infill out. Just need a little bit less snow. So this is the Flat Cap Cafe Racer out for today. See you later. Join me and my friends at Flat Cap Cafe Racer for riding and racing. Please subscribe.